of the strategic management session. We will look at leadership and strategy, particularly at a time the world is experiencing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. We will continue on a series on restarting your business after lockdown as we continue to appreciate, honor, and respect the values workers across the world are bringing, particularly health workers across the country. But before we begin our discourse with our guests, Mr. John Wese, MD CEO Syntech Nigeria Limited, and a strategy management consultant, let's give you updates on the COVID-19 confirmed cases in Nigeria. At the moment, the confirmed cases are 1,932, with 319 recoveries and 58 deaths. I'll take that again. The confirmed COVID-19 cases in Nigeria are 1,932, with 319 recoveries and 58 deaths. Let's go on to the conversation, and today is May Day. Happy May Day to you, Mr. John Wese. We celebrate workers, particularly health workers who are at the front line of ensuring that the earth, the land, is really free of this adverse pandemic, coronavirus.
Yes, well, thank God. Happy May Day to everybody. Once again, thank you.
Yes.
For inviting me. There is so much to thank God for, not just for our frontline workers, for every worker.
Every worker, yes.
And my counsel to every one of them is that you need to build hope, you need to strengthen your resilience, because some of you may be saying, what is there to be happy about? People are losing their jobs. You get my point? People are having pay cuts, as the case may be. So for me, there is so much to thank God for.
Yeah.
You know, and we thank every worker, especially the vulnerable ones that have either been followed, sacked, told to go home without any pay, and that kind of a thing. For every day that we find ourselves or we wake up, my perspective is to be grateful first.
Yeah.
My perspective is to be grateful, and all hopes are not lost.
All hopes are not lost.
So we are all rejoicing.
Yes.
In spite of the seeming challenge that is ahead or that we currently are going through. Yes,
the analysis can be very, very scary, but like you said, we have a cause to be grateful. The International Labour Organization has said that we may be seeing over 25 million jobs lost across the world. We've already seen in America the impact, and over 30 million people now are applying for unemployment benefits. And you can see major companies cutting jobs, like you've said. The realities are showing now. Pay cuts, full or even downsizing and right-sizing as the case may be. And we're even seeing videos, people putting videos of CEOs talking about those challenges and how they have to reorganize their companies at this point. As an expert, a consultant in this regard, how do you think this process should be managed? The Nigeria Labour Congress on its part is also saying, look, we don't want you to lay off workers, oil and gas, even reduce salaries of those in the ports and all the sectors. We have to look at managing the realities, like you said. We have to look at ensuring that things move on in various sectors. But that key decision for CEOs and heads of MDAs and even governors and presidents manage the workforce, the pay, and their welfare.
Thank you, Otto. There are two hats you need to put on. The first of all is the hat of the employer or the CEO of the firm itself. Where the firm doesn't exist, we don't have employees. So the firm must first of all exist before you can talk about the employees. All right? That's the first hat. Now, the next hat you're going to put on in this conversation is the hat of the employees. All right? Who are most likely going to bear the brunt. So there is a balance the owners of any enterprise or the CEOs of every enterprise that they need to make. So that's the balance that they are trying to do. So the video you mentioned and others like that, or other well-publicized actions
taken
that have been
by
taken
major
by
companies across the world.
Yes, they are facing reality. Even firms locally are already slashing salaries. State governments have started doing that. The truth is we're expecting the federal government to do the same.
For workers?
Yes, for workers. My take is from a certain level.
Look at a level, because
level upward,
it's a level that could really...
From a certain level upward. You take a certain we'll call it haircut.
Haircut.
You get the point.
Haircut, yeah.
You take a certain haircut. Now, the truth is, every firm, every CEO is having sleepless nights. If you are the leader of a firm, whether small or big, we are all faced with a reality that we need to respond to. So the key thing for every CEO now is, how do I respond to this? I remember I told you that right now you will find that the CEO and his core executive team, his head of finance, his head of HR, his head of corporate communication, maybe his head of production or his head of operations, they are sitting down, okay, and looking at ways and means. Do we sack? Do we do salary cuts? All right? And even if we do this, how are we going to resume? Those we are going to keep, for how long can we keep it? How do we structure our entire, what we call the reward? You know, the entire compensation and benefits of the firm. So those are the conversations they are looking at. So they've been having sleepless nights as they are seeing the implication of this. And each industry has its unique pain points that they are grappling with. Each industry, both public and private, they have their unique pain point that they are grappling with. So you cannot take this away. Now let's look at what the NLC is saying. That's political talk. The truth is this: if the NLC, all right, had been doing their job, lots of workers will, if they have been doing their real job, welfare of workers, all right, our labor laws will have moved with the time for seasons like this.
Adjust to the developments and the changes that we've seen.
Over the years. But they were politicians. The way the NLC is run, it's run like a political party. You get the point. That's the truth, all right? The true welfare, the progressive welfare, especially with respect to the productive capacity or their productivity to the economy, it's not central to their agenda. We just talked about employees that are claiming unemployment benefits. It's because it's in the laws, the labor laws of what?
Of the United States?
Of the US. Okay. The same thing, the UK. All right? Good. Now, so the question you ask is, because these workers are paying taxes. So the question is, so from where is the government getting money to pay these people? Okay? So from where is the government getting, so the money is not falling from heaven. The money is not falling from heaven. So, you know, a couple of years ago, many years back, I've had conversations with, you know, some people at this, in these organizations or this trade union movement, as they call themselves. You just see that their attitude to governance is just personal and selfish. Forget what the drama you see. Forget the drama that you see. Some of us are not happy. And it's because if the welfare and the productivity of our nation is central to their agenda, in seasons like this and many others, okay? I don't want to go to different scenarios. We will have been able to respond properly. So when people are asked to, when people go through fall-offs, for example, what is going to happen? Now, an employer can tell you, I'm asking you to leave without so pay. He said, I can't pay you. You will take them to court. We're going to file for bankruptcy. When an employer files for bankruptcy, what can the employee do? Nothing. The court will just tell you, well, this is their account, this is their position. You're not the only person that they have to pay. They've got an operation to run. They're already running at a loss. By the time they show you their commitment, you get my point. So I think the two hearts is a tough season for every CEO, for any owner of business, even if it's one employee that you have, all right? You have a commitment to that employee. So you are asking yourself questions. Not to talk of when you have 5, 10, 40, 50, 60, 100,000. So you are not sleeping. You are looking at, especially depending on the sector that you are in, how it hits you. How it hits you. So that's the cap they are putting on. So what do we do? So as a CEO, you want to, first of all, take the drastic step
Yeah.
Sack. Let me bring down my payroll and keep the total, a few numbers that I can operate with. Especially if they are currently operating. If we are 12, maybe 5 of us are currently operating during this period. Yeah. What has happened to the quality of our service in terms of efficiency and effectiveness? Our customers, our clients, are they complaining? Have they suffered any deficiency? Because maybe whatever we are doing is an input to their own processes for their own output. If the answer is no, what do you think the CEO would do? He maintains status quo and tell everybody, please, for now, you guys can go. We'll talk to you as things improve. You can't fault them. And look at the contract that they have with you and the base of that contract. You know, we're in a force majeure situation. We're in a situation that I don't think our labor laws, I may be wrong, is prepared for. When I say that, because I know the conversation that is going on across different
clients.
Companies, firms, and all that. You know, I've gotten calls to say, look, what do you think? How do we do this? What do you do? So you put your human face also to see, okay, what is the best way to get this thing done? So that's what is happening, and which is why, yes, it's May Day. All of us must see this season more from a perspective of new opportunities.
New opportunities.
That's the way,
we should
at least I see it, and I encourage every Nigerian worker, especially the vulnerable ones, those of you who are this thing, just see it from this perspective, more from opportunities. And to get the mind to change is the work, is the work that needs to be done.
Very important work. So let me leave you to your presentation. As you continue business, restarting a business after the lockdown, of course, all the workers would be looking to getting ready. Government, service, every industry is approached as business, as creating value.
It's true, Otto. Thank you, viewers, and welcome to today's session. I just want to start by saying that Happy May Day. But you can see, if we've been talking, now that the courts have come to our country, you can see how we are all trying to manage what is happening. The courts, in terms of pay cuts, the sack is now being publicized, and it is taking place across the public and the private sector. But before I go to today's session, all I've been trying to tell you first about your career is that you need to understand that all I've been trying to make you see, those of you at the establishment stage, is by this time of your career, you should be seeking, or you should have been doing what? Providing what I call insightful, independent contribution to your firm, to your profession, to your discipline, to the society that you belong. So it is seasons like this we begin to ask ourselves questions. Another thing you needed to have been doing, okay, if you are in the maintenance stage, is to still believe that the opportunities are there. Above all, because we're in a new work climate globally, while you want to manage your risk, you want to stay low, you don't want to change job, because the earlier stage is when people change jobs very frequently. But now you're in your maintenance stage, you're above 40, you want to manage risk. But trust me, in the new climate that we are in, because you need to develop skills, you need to engage in rediscovery. Learn new skills. Move laterally. Move vertically. Okay? As it goes in the maintenance stage, what else has happened? By this stage, if you're good at your work, before you get to your disengagement stage, you're already acting as a mentor, a coach, a sponsor, or as a sounding board, as an advisor, or making policy or policy advocacy. So by the time you're in your disengagement stage, when you're getting to 60 or beyond, there are still opportunities for those of you who probably are hedged in this period. You aggregate all of your wealth of experience and expertise. Two things: wealth of experience and expertise. It is these you bring together to be creating, to be acting as mentors, coaches, sponsors, as the case may be, any of the options I just shared with you. How are you doing that? Are there opportunities for you? Even when, if you're in your disengagement stage, the answer is yes, there are opportunities. If you manage your career well, or if you've been managing your career well, the truth is that even while you are at your maintenance stage, guess what? You are already started doing what? You've already started providing the same mentoring and coaching assistance. That is the truth. By the time you are 45, the truth is that you should be growing people. If you are still in paid employment, you should be acting as a coach to your subordinates. These are the things that you carry to your disengagement stage that makes people to still see you as someone they can talk to. So I want you to look back. I'm sure by now you begin to agree with me that from where you stand, there are still opportunities. Like I said, even if you are in your disengagement stage. So these are opportunities that you can hone within the domain of where you have that experience and expertise. You can act and provide service as a mentor, a coach, a sponsor, a policy-making body, or to join in giving policy or policy advocacy, or as a sounding board. Because over the years, you have developed competence, especially from your establishment stage. You've been, I mean, like I said in one of the sessions, you will develop thought leadership. You've written papers, articles, you've made posts, what I call point of views, to share in the community of your profession. So all I've been saying in terms of your career, from when you started, from the very moment you started work, to your disengagement stage, in a season like this that you need to come back up, all I've been trying to tell you is you need to do what? Consolidate the knowledge of yourself. You need to consolidate the knowledge of yourself and present it on a platter so that people can understand where you are. Because by consolidating the knowledge of yourself, nobody knows you better than you do. It is the way you now package that from the day you started work, to where you are today, whichever stage you are today in your career. That's all I've been saying. How are you doing that? So I'm hoping if you do this carefully, assemble your CV properly, get somebody to talk to, either get a coach, get a mentor, get somebody to, just talk to somebody. He or she will help you to consolidate yourself and repackage you to let you know that there are still opportunities out there. So I am hoping that this will help you. So this brings my conclusion to how you need to, if you're in paid employment, you've lost your job, or you have now realized that your job is at risk. I'm hoping this will help you. So this brings me to if you are a business. Now, when I started, I actually took two opportunities, the barbing salon and all that. But in this era that we are in, if you are in the service industry, some of which I just shared now, okay, you are going to take a hard hit. You and I know that. Now, you can see these examples I just share with you, all right? Depending on how you see it, I am telling you that it doesn't matter which service you currently are offering. Are you a lawyer? Are you an auditor? Are you a financial advisor? Are you into estates, into real estate, whichever? Are you a civil engineering builder? Are you in architecture? Whatever business that you are in. I am telling you that there are a myriad of opportunities. You can move from one sector to the other. You can move from one business to the other. The key thing is, who are your company? Who are you keeping company with? Who are you listening to? What capabilities? Because when you have a firm, you are telling everybody, okay, before now, that you have a service to sell. You are selling your capability. So in a seasons like this that we found ourselves, I am telling you that you don't have to be straitjacket. You can move in any direction. You can move from one discipline to another, especially if you properly hone your career and you've built skills and competencies over the years in the service that you're offering. And I'm saying if you've done this, you have nothing to be afraid of. All I'm telling you is that, so because survival is your goal, what is actually driving you is what stage is your business is today? How old are you if you are the CEO or owner, founder, as the case may be, or you are a co-founder? How old are you? These things comes to play. How many staff do you have? What are your current commitments? What's your average annual income? Because you need to generate an income, because you need to make money for you to meet your commitments, to meet your bills, and fulfill the things you want to be. Above all, to have self-actualization. All of us want to have self-actualization in whatever we are doing. You need to begin to listen to different programs that is taking place. All manner of webinars are taking place. So you need to be reviewing, to be asking yourself right now and taking notes. What are they talking about in my practice, in my area of discipline? I'm saying think policy. What is the government bringing out? What are your clients? What kind of information are they giving out in the media? Are you tracking them? If you are any business, talk to your high net individual, talk to your customer, talk to your client. What are they thinking about a project you're currently doing? What are they thinking about going forward? What's your client industry like now? You need to be doing all those things. Look at the state. Don't go too far. Start from the state in which you currently are resident. Then you look at the national views. What's the state economy? What is the national economy like? It is all of this that will help you to see the myriad of opportunities that are surrounding you. You can even change career or change business completely. You can change location as well. Who says you cannot move? Who says you must be in a particular place? Or you must continue to stay there? Don't forget, survival is the name of the game for you because you have a service you're offering and you need to earn something. I'll stop here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Wese, particularly the fact that we need to think policy. We need to know our clients' service base, those that we're serving as clients.
Absolutely.
And we have to really understand the practice and follow it very well to create value. We also need to be very conscious of the fact that if you're going to start a business, you need to know what are the kind of staff you need, skills, and then support you need in that area.
Absolutely. Like we've all been talking about technology.
Yes.
Today you'll be asking yourself, what role will technology play? Or how do I want technology to play in this business that I'm of? How do I want technology to play in this business that I'm doing?
Because we're in the age of the fourth industrial revolution driven by digital technology.
Sure, you get my point.
Yes.
So it should be very clear in your mind, in my industry, what do I know that people are using technology to do, to run? How can I deploy that in my practice or in my business? Where is the boundary? What do I want it to enable? Okay? You get my point. So that's what's critical.
Well, very critical for us to be strategic and also to ensure that we continue to think policy, to also know our clients who are very important to us, and also know how we can get staff or support that is based on skills, but technology is very key and we cannot avoid it. And on this May Day for workers, we must understand the role of technology in shaping economies and shaping every part of the globe.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, John Wese.
My
It's
joy.
been a very interesting week having you discuss restarting your business after the lockdown. From next week, we're going to see an easing of the lockdown in Lagos, Abuja. So we're going to be bracing to see how this process is managed effectively the first 2 weeks phase.
I think what the government is going to do, Otto, is after the first week, we will see government's response.
Yeah.
The most important thing is, will we be disciplined enough? Because now the ball is in our court. Would we comply to maintain
social
keep to the
distancing,
guidelines.
hygiene, and all
You
those
get the
guidelines,
point,
yes.
which we have discussed. The ball is now in our court, and I'm hoping that our citizens will be bold and disciplined enough to keep to the guidelines. If we do not, these numbers will spike.
We don't want those numbers to spike, so we have
it.
to follow the guidelines. That will be all for this edition of Strategy Management Discuss this afternoon, and it's been an interesting week discussing restarting your business after the lockdown with Mr. John Wese, MD CEO of Syntech Nigeria Limited and a strategy management consultant. You can join our website, www.proshareng.com, to watch videos, news stories, and analysis from our strategy management discourse this week, and you will be seeing very interesting things that you can learn from. Join us this evening by 6 p.m. for the human angle as we look at stories, the impacts of the season, the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's affecting humanity. You can also, this period, go to our very special platform on ProShare. It's called the Corona Central Watch, where we give you analysis, data on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global and Nigerian economy. All you need to do is to log on to proshareng.com/COVID-19 for all those analysis and data which you will need to make the informed decisions at this time. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day and stay safe.